Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited you're here. This is LinkedIn Live for Job Search. 5 steps to help you becoming referable and the go-to in your industry. So I'm super pumped and excited you're here with us. This is also powered by Restream. So we're excited about that as well. I'm going to show you why Restream is a visibility superpower and really can help you to blow up. So I'm super excited about that. But before we get into all the fun stuff of the presentation, I want to know, who do we got? Who are you? Where are you? Who's tuning in with us? Rep your city. Let's get in the comments right now. And as a matter of fact, as you're repping your city, I also want you to tell me, who do you got for this Super Bowl? Like, who do you got for the Super Bowl? Because I've got this team over here. Hold on. It's kind of hard to do this while I'm like, have to do it backwards. Hold on. Wait. Uh, there we go. I got it. Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. Rep your city, rep your hood, and tell us who you got for the Super Bowl. So I do see we've got Jim Ballard in the house. Jim, you are a baller, my friend. I appreciate you being here with us. Who else do we got? We got Hope Mangita. Hope Mangita with the donuts. Go nuts for donuts. Appreciate you being here with us today. So yeah, let us know who you got for the Super Bowl and what team, and where you're repping your city, where you coming in from. We got Brent from Dallas. Good to see you here with us. That is amazing. Who else we got? Florida in the house. Unknown. That's cool. I see you, Tanya. I appreciate you being here with us. Well, while you guys are checking in to the comments, I do want to go ahead and just pull up this presentation. Let's rock and let's roll. Let's go. So today's presentation is LinkedIn Live for Job Search. 5 steps to becoming referable and the go-to in your industry. And guess what? I got some surprise bonuses for you. I got some surprises. So number one, I've got our LinkedIn optimization checklist. Okay, because here's the deal: the whole goal of using a tool like LinkedIn Live or using LinkedIn in the first place is we've got to drive traffic to your profile. Your profile is like a landing page, right? And what good is a landing page or a website if nobody sees it, right? So that's the whole goal, is we're going to drive traffic there. But once they get there, it needs to be optimized and needs to be able to convert into opportunities, into conversations, into interviews, right? So it needs to be optimized. So I've got my LinkedIn optimization checklist that will help you get that done. I also have our free ebook. Okay, it's Facing a Career Crossroad, Managing the Financial Stress of Job Loss. Because you know what? When you're in a career transition, you're in a financial transition, right? So I'm going to get you that free ebook as well. Now, here's how you're going to get these, right? These first two bonuses in this presentation, you need to stay with me to the very, very end. And I'm actually going to be sending a code word or a code phrase. Okay, I'm going to give you that code word at the end of the presentation. And all you got to do is send me a DM with that code word or code phrase, and I will send you these 2 items right here. All right. Now, the last is our Who You Know custom ice shaker bottle. So I got one right here. Check it out. Got my ice shaker right here. You know you're going to want one of these. Let me get a drink real quick. Tastes good. You're going to want one. Okay. And the way to get one of those is you need to be my top engager today. Okay. You need to be the person in the chat, in the comments. I want to give you some shout outs. Matter of fact, let's do that right now. Let's get in these comments. Okay. So first of all, I want you to, if you're searching for a job, I want you to tell me your industry. What are you searching for? Is it, project management? So just put hashtag project management. Is it accounting and finance, or what is it that you do? Let me know. And I still got this comment from Tanya up here. I'll take that down there. But let's see, how do I go back, hide that. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, just let me know what you do, and then rep your city. If you are a live streamer already, if you're already a live streamer, I want to know. If you want to become a live streamer, I want to hear from you as well. Just put hashtag team live. If you are hiring right now, if you're a coach, a recruiter, I want to hear from you. If you've ever tuned into the Who You Know show, I want to hear from you. And then last but not least, if you don't know who the heck I am, just put hashtag first time if you've never heard of us before or tuned in. So I do want to highlight a couple here. I got Jim Bollard, hashtag enterprise sales. Appreciate you. And Tanya, again, we had her comment up earlier. Educational leadership, shout out to you. Love that. Love that. I think, let's see, we got Neil Anson, IT leadership. Love that. Appreciate you. And we've got Mark. He says, I want to become a live streamer. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Craig, he's IT infrastructure leadership, Hickory Creek Team Live. I love it. Okay. So let's keep this thing going, rocking and rolling. I appreciate you guys coming in the chat with me, but let's get back to the presentation here. We got 5 key takeaways that I'm going to take you through today. Number 1, I'm going to show you, if you're in the job search, I'm going to show you how to fill your calendar with informational interviews. Okay. The whole thing we need to do here is fill up your calendar. You need activity. You need to be having conversations on a daily basis about what you do, what you're looking for, and we need to be having those conversations. So I'm going to show you how to fill up your calendar with informational interviews. I'm going to show you how to differentiate yourself, create awareness, credibility, and authority within your industry. Okay, you need to be the go-to person in your spot. If you're in HR, you need to be the go-to HR person, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the process and the requirements to get approved for LinkedIn Live, right? There is a process behind that. Not everybody's approved. There's an approval process. I'm going to show you how to get it and how to know if you are approved or not. And why Restream? Why is Restream the visibility superpower? And I'm going to show you exactly, because I'm going to tell you this thing will help blow it up. You want to be all over the map? You're going to get all over the map, and Restream's the tool to make that happen. And last but not least, how to create a job search marketing machine. Okay. You need marketing, because guess what? If nobody knows you, then nobody flows you. And this is all about getting back to your cash flow, right? So if nobody knows you exist, well, it's going to be pretty tough to get back to work. So you need to be visible. And I'm going to show you how to create a marketing machine. All right. For those of you that don't know me, and this is your first time, you're just checking in with me, my name's Trevor Houston. I'm the executive producer and host of the Who You Know show, the CEO of ClearPath Wealth Strategies, and I've been featured in Forbes, Yahoo News, Fox News Radio, and much more. Over the past 6 years, I have helped thousands and thousands of job seekers to stand out, break through the noise, control, grow, and recover their cash flow without ever touching their resume. And you're thinking, what? Without touching your resume? Yeah. Because this game is all about visibility. All right. It's all about visibility. And that piece of paper, I want you to know, you're more valuable than the words on your resume. Okay. They need to see who you are as a person. All right. So I'm going to show you how we do this, but let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay. First of all, I want to know, how is your job search going? If you're searching right now on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like your job search is just going through the roof. You got so many interviews, you don't even know what to do, right? So many interviews, like, and then 1 is like, I'm lost. I'm really, really having a hard time. I'm struggling, right? I want to know, like, what's your job search looking like? You know what I'm saying? So tell me down there in the chat, and I'll give some shout outs. Let's see, who do we got with us? I see this came in from Durga. I'm looking for an accountant. He's in Dubai. Appreciate you in Dubai. I love that. That's super cool. All the way across the pond, checking in with us. But yeah, let us know how your job search is going. I see Craig. He says, or Neil says 4. I got Craig here, 6 to 7. I got Brent. He says he's a 3. Okay. We've got Lauren says 5 to 6. Okay. So here's the deal. The job search can be a little bit tough. It can be challenging, right? But why? Why is it so hard? Right? Why is the job search so tough? Well, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'll tell you, it's because the job search process has been dehumanized. They have taken the human element out of this process. Okay. Does anybody remember a time when you could literally walk in and you could hand over your resume? Right? You could walk in, you could hand it over, and maybe even get an interview, right? Like right on the spot. Does anybody remember those days? I do. I remember walking in and getting a job right on the spot. All right. Well, those days are over. The internet created a problem. That problem is that there's too many applications. It's too easy to apply now. People are applying all the time. And what it creates is a couple of issues. So number one, people are getting ghosted. How many of you are getting ghosted by employers? Right? I want you to tell me down there in the chat. If you're getting ghosted by employers, I want to hear from you. Okay. What about the black hole where you apply online and that resume just goes into cyberspace and it just gets eaten up and you never hear anything back at all, right? No feedback, nothing. What about the purple squirrel? The purple squirrel is a term that recruiters use, okay? And what they're looking for is that perfect candidate that meets every little checkbox, right? The hiring manager has a list of requirements that are unrealistic, right? And if you don't meet every one of those little check boxes, you can forget about it. And so this whole process has been dehumanized. They've taken the human element out, and you may feel like you don't have any control over this, right? Like it's out of your control. Well, let me just tell you something. You have more control than you realize. I'm going to show you how to put the control back. Okay, how to get the control back. But here's the result of the job search being dehumanized is that qualified candidates are getting fewer and fewer interviews. Okay, fewer and fewer interviews. So what I want to know from you is this: on average, how many interviews are you getting per month? Like how many companies are you interviewing with per month? Because the average is 1 per month, right? So I want to hear from you. Like, are you getting, around 1 a month, 2 a month, 3 a month? Like, how many interviews are you getting a month? The average that we see is 1. And that's where this next stat comes into play, where it says per $10,000 in salary that you're trying to accomplish, it could take you up to a month. So as an example, if I'm trying to get $120,000 salary, right, it could take me up to a year. It could take me an entire year. Oh my goodness, that's terrifying, right? So guys, the whole thing here is we got to drive your activity up, right? So if I can get you, 3, 4, 5 interviews a month, right? Like if I can get you that, well, then that will decrease your search time, right? It'll cut your search time down. So that's the goal here. And in order to do that, we need visibility. Okay. So in order to do that, though, we're going to have to do some things that might be outside the box, right? That might be outside your comfort zone. How many of you have ever heard that saying that growth happens outside your comfort zone? Anybody heard that? Tell me in the chat. Here's the deal. It's so true. It is absolutely so true. So here's what we find. For most people, they're in their comfort zone when they're working. They're getting their paycheck. Everything's good. And then whenever they get fired, furloughed, let go, whatever the term they want to use, most job seekers are right here in this fear zone. And I want to talk about fear for just a second. Fear is the enemy, right? And the enemy came here to lie, kill, and destroy. Right? The enemy came here to get in your ear and tell you why you're not good enough and why you can't do it, where you find excuses and you're affected by the opinions of others, and the enemy came here to steal your purpose. The enemy came here to destroy you. I mean, that's the reality of it. And the enemy does not want you to get back to work. Okay? That's the truth. Right? It doesn't want you to get back to work. So we've got to shut that enemy up. The fear is the enemy. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Okay. It's not real, guys. And what I'll tell you is I'm excited that you're here because you're actually in the learning zone. You're in the learning zone. And in this learning zone, we're going to acquire new skills. We're going to extend our comfort zone. We're going to deal with the problem today. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that problem today about not being seen. I'm going to show you how to get seen. How many of you would like to get seen? How many of you would like to get recognized for your hard work and your talents and your skills, right? Tell me in the chat. If you want to get seen, if you want to get noticed, if you want to get recognized for all the hard work you do in whatever industry you're in, tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear from you, right? So here's the deal. Hopefully I can push each and every one of you to the growth zone, okay? In this growth zone, that's where we're going to set new goals, conquer our objectives, live out our dreams, and find our purpose, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm actually right now, as I'm speaking to you on this live stream, I'm in my purpose right now. My purpose is to serve you. Like, I'm going to give you everything I got, right? Literally, I'm going to help you and try to serve you any way I can. I'm really going to only ask you for one thing. There's only one thing I'm going to ask you. And really, all that is, it's really simple. When you land, I need you to pay it forward. Okay, because you're going to land a job. You're all going to land. Everybody on this live stream, you are going to land a job. And I just need you to pay it forward, which means go build a relationship with the new decision makers inside of that company that you're going to go work for. And one day, I'm going to hand you a resume. One day, I'm going to send you a referral. One day, I'm going to have somebody that's going through a class of mine that I need to get seen, that I need to get some eyeballs on. And I'm going to need you to get that resume in front of the right people, right? So if I can get an amen down there in the chat, if you're going to pay it forward, because otherwise I'm going to shut down this stream right now. If I got the wrong audience, I got to go. I got to go, right? So give me an amen, and I will keep this thing rocking and rolling. I love it. I love it. I see John Ballard. John Ballard says amen. And again, I say amen. All right. So let's rock and let's roll. Let's go. All right. So one of the things that I think is important to realize, Gallup did a poll. Okay. Now this was pre-COVID. Okay. But they did a poll that 85% of people are unhappy, unfulfilled with their jobs. Right? Can you imagine that? And this is over across the globe, guys. This is of the world's over a billion full-time workers. That's what this poll was. This is not just America. This is the globe, that people are just unhappy, right? They're unhappy. And so I do think that, COVID has probably changed things. People are starting to wake up and realize that, which is great. Actually, it's a blessing. But it's important to know what is going to fulfill you and what's going to make you happy. And that's why interviewing is a two-way street, guys. Interviewing, it's important. An interview should provide an opportunity for both you and the employer to get to know each other, to see if it's a match, if it's a fit, if it's going to make each other, like, are you going to be able to solve the company's problem? And is the company going to make you happy with all of the culture and everything that they have there? Right? So you need to be interviewing, and it needs to be two-way. It can't be one way. All right. You also need to be selective. Okay. I love this quote by Joel Osteen here. He says, be selective with what you give time and attention to. Your destiny is too valuable to allow negativity in. Right. And I think that's I think that's super important. You need to be selective and really understand what's important to you, and that way you'll have a higher likelihood of getting it, right? Your focus becomes your reality. Okay, so let's be selective about the new employer that we're going to go work for, and that's where informational interviews come into play. You need to be interviewing these people and these companies, what it is that they have that's going to make you happy. And what I think is really, really important is, if you're lost, if you're feeling lost right now in your job search, what's the easiest way when you're lost to get from point A to point Z, right? When you're lost. Well, the easiest way is to pull over and ask for directions. Okay. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to reach out to people who are already doing what you want to do. Like, think about it. If you're in HR, right, and you want to go work for Coca-Cola, wouldn't it be important to go work, to go talk to somebody who is in HR working for Coca-Cola? Like, go talk to them and figure out, how did they get there? What did they do to get there? What's it like working there? Like, those are important things to know. So that's what you need to do. You need to go have conversations on a regular basis, guys, with people inside the companies that you want to work for, right? Informational interviews are your lifeblood, okay? Now, here are some things you should be considering, right? Things you should be considering: culture, compensation, job security, advancement opportunities, right? Like, are you going to be able to advance? I'll tell you what, that's one of the reasons why I've left companies, was when they started to put a ceiling on my potential. I'm like, I'm out of here. So what do those advancement opportunities look like for you? That's a super important one for me, right? Benefits, beliefs, values, type of work, your commute, all of these things. These are some really, really important factors you need to be considering. Again, be selective. Don't just go with a company because, I don't know, it's Amazon or something, and you're like, ooh, well, it's Amazon, so I'm going to go work there. Well, maybe it doesn't really align with what you're looking for. So you need to be selective. What are some other things you guys can think of? What are other factors you should be considering? Tell me in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. All right. While you're doing that, let's talk about this. You need to have informational interviews, right? You need to be talking with these people. But one of the things I hear job seekers saying all the time is that, well, they're too busy. Why would they talk to me? They're too busy. Here's the thing I want you to know. Nobody is too busy, right? Nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities, right? And that's where marketing comes into play, okay? That is where marketing comes into play. It's a matter of priorities. Nobody's too busy. Like, everybody's busy. Let's put it this way. Everybody is busy these days. Okay, let me ask you this question. You're not working, right? I got a bunch of job seekers in the audience, right? Are you busy? But wait a minute, you're not working, but you're still busy, right? Right? Like, you guys are still busy, right? Tell me in the chat. You're not working though, but you're still busy. So everyone is busy. So understand that everybody's busy, but people just need to prioritize things. So we need to make it a priority. All right. So how do we make it a priority? That is where marketing comes into play. All right. Your job search requires sales and marketing skills. Sales and marketing skills. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So the first step in marketing is awareness. Okay. If nobody knows you, then nobody flows you. Okay. You're not going to get that cash flow. You're not going to get hired if nobody knows you exist. Okay. And applying online is not the only way you're going to do it. Okay. So we need to bring some awareness. After they're aware of you, it drives interest. Like, they're okay. Maybe somebody becomes interested in you. Then they start to look at you further. They make a decision. They take action. Okay. This is called a marketing funnel. And you need one of these. Okay. You need a marketing funnel. So I'm going to show you how to get a marketing funnel, how we can start to get companies to enter into your funnel so that they can take a decision on you and take action and hire you. Right. That's what this is all about. So we're going to start this with what I call the documentation strategy. Okay. The documentation strategy. And what we need to do, we need to document your search from start to finish, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. We need to document it. You need to write it down. Okay. And we're going to gain insight into companies through informational interviews. Okay. So we need to start talking with people who are working at that company. All right. So you following me so far? We're going to document. We're going to have informational interviews, right? And we need to create a LinkedIn live show. Okay. We're going to create a LinkedIn live show, and I'm going to show you why this is important, how it's going to benefit you. But here's a couple things that you can do, a couple of ideas with your live show. Number one, document your journey. Okay. People like to see the behind the scenes. Okay. They like the behind the scenes. So you need to document your journey. Have your informational interviews. You need to do this anyways. So as you're having your informational interviews, Do them live. And I'll tell you why that's important here in just a second, but you'll do it live. You're going to do live interviews with people who are working at the companies that you want to work for. Okay. Another idea is to give a presentation, right? Give a presentation just like the one I'm doing right now, right? How do you solve a problem? Think about that. What do? Right? What problems do you solve for a company? Can you create a PowerPoint or create a presentation on how you solve it and do it live? Right? I think you probably should, right? That's going to showcase your skill set. And when those employers start to look at you, right, they're going to go, oh, wow, Neil, he's the man in the whole 50 grand. I need to hire Neil, right? That's what this is all about. Okay. So let's get back into this. We're going to create a LinkedIn Live show. Why? Because it creates interest. Okay. Remember I told you, one of the limiting beliefs that a lot of people have is that people are too busy to talk to them. They're not too busy. You just need to give them an excuse. Why? Why would they want to talk to you? Well, if you had your own show, well, maybe that would create a little interest. Maybe that would make them want to talk to you, right? Speakers, interviewers, live streamers, they're oftentimes looked at as thought leaders. Okay. It creates intrigue. It creates interest. People need to want to talk to you. Like if you just reach out in a DM and you got no value to offer, well, yeah, they're probably going to ignore you. But if you had your own show that you were inviting them to highlight and feature them, well, maybe they'll have a little bit more interest. Okay. So that's why we're doing this. So first step, you need to apply for LinkedIn Live. Okay. Now there's a process on this. Number one, there's some qualifications. Okay. You've got to have at least 150 followers or connections. Okay. So question I have for you is, does everybody have, well, put your following. Tell me how many followers you got down there below, or how many connections do you have? What if you know your number, put it down below. I'd love to hear that. But you need to have at least 150. You need to be sharing original content. Okay. They want you to be a contributor to the platform, right? So recent shares of content is another thing that they're going to look for when you apply. They also want to see that you have a history of, abiding to their rules, right? You need to be abiding to their community policies. All right. Now I see some people coming in here. We got 3,400. Awesome. I love that. We got Tanya and Scott's got 630. Neil's got 1,500. Love that. Allison, shout out to you, over 1,000. So you guys got this. You got that first qualification out of the way. Second qualification is original content, right? So are you guys creating content? How many of you are creating original content? Tell me down below in the chat. Are you creating on this platform? All right. Are you an active user? Tell me. I'd love to hear from you, right? So if you're an active user, you'll meet that second qualification. And the third one is you just need to be a good history. You're not like spamming people and doing crazy stuff, right? All right. So after you submit your application, well, first of all, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get in. Like that's not going to guarantee just by applying. Like they do have to go through the process of, checking the boxes and making sure that, you're doing all the right things. But they say that they give you an update within 3 to 4 business days. But LinkedIn, I love you so much. There's a lot of people who are approved for LinkedIn Live that don't even realize it. Like there's a ton of people out there that are approved for this platform. They have it. They don't know they have it because they never got the notification. So I know LinkedIn says 3 to 4 business days, but I'm just saying, LinkedIn, you might be a little bit behind. All right. So I'm going to tell you how you're going to figure out if you're approved. If you want to know if you're approved, actually, you know what? I've got a question for everybody. Oops, let me pull that back up. I got a question for everybody. Has anybody here applied before? Is anybody in the chat, have you applied? If you have, I want to show you how you're going to get it, okay, or how you're going to figure it out. If you want to know if you're approved for this, all you got to do is go to Restream, okay? Sign up for a free account. Matter of fact, you get a free Restream Pro account for 7 days. The link is actually in the description, but that link is restream.grsm.io/who you know. Okay, so go to that link, get a free Restream Pro account, and the next thing that you want to do is add your channels. Okay, now you'll click on this and you'll just sign into LinkedIn Live. Right, you're just going to sign on in, and if you're approved, it'll just connect and you're easy peasy, right? If it's not if you're not approved, then it will tell you to go get approved, right? So it's that simple. If you want to know if you're approved or not, if you've already applied and you want to figure that out, because I know there's so many people out there, they're like, well, how do I even figure it out? Just go get your Restream account and check it. Okay. If you check it and it's not working, then you're not approved. If you check it and it is working, well, you are approved. That simple. But check this out, guys. Look, over 30 channels you can connect to this thing. So my question is, if you're in the job search and you're trying to bring visibility and awareness to your search, are you just going to click that LinkedIn button? Nah, I'm going to click them all. Any channel that I want to be on, I want to be on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all of those. Like I want to get the word out to the entire universe, right? Like look at that. Look how many channels you can connect with this tool. It's amazing. It's really, really awesome. Okay? So we're going to connect as many channels as you have, right? As many channels as you have, go ahead and connect them. And then what's cool is when you create an event, I love this. This is another superpower. It automatically creates this event page in LinkedIn. Okay. It creates an event page. So before you go live, create your event. And there's two huge benefits here. The first benefit is that you can invite people. Okay. Now, when you invite, you can do up to 1,000 of your connections per week. Okay. 1,000 of your connections per week. Okay. So that's the rule on that. But you can do it literally, guys, in one click. Like you can literally invite 1,000 people of your network in one click, and you can search it by industries. So let's look at that for a second. What if you went down and you searched and you were like, you went to go do the invite and you go to industries and you go to recruiters, right? Because you can do that. You go staffing and recruiters. Like you can click that. And what if you had a whole bunch of those in your network? Yeah, I'd want to invite those people. Think about it, right? Go targeted inviting those people to your live stream. Okay. The other thing that's cool is look at this tab over here. It says networking. LinkedIn has literally put that tab and built it in so that you can have conversations with people that accept this invitation to the event page, right? So if they accept it and they join, you can actually message them directly, regardless of whether you're a second connection or a third connection. Okay. So that allows you to have conversations with people. It takes that whole requirement of having to be first connection. That first connection requirement goes away, and you can actually network in advance to your live stream. So it's really, really awesome. I love that feature. Okay. Now, why is Restream the visibility superpower? Why Restream? Because here's the thing. LinkedIn does not have their own native live platform. Did you guys know that? Are you aware of that? Like Facebook owns their own live platform, right? Facebook has their own live. Instagram has their own live. LinkedIn doesn't really have their own native live platform. You have to use a third-party service. Okay, so that's why you have to use a third-party service. But why Restream? Well, I just showed you that Restream allows you to connect to up to 30 channels at the same time. Okay, this is what I call the shotgun approach, right? It's a visibility superpower, but also they have a new feature that just came out, and it's called Restream Pairs. And oh my gosh, this is game changer, you guys. And let me explain why. Because you can pair in 3 easy steps, 3 clicks. You can actually pair your guest channels. So I'm going to connect my 30 channels, and my guests can connect their 30 channels. So literally you can connect up to 100 channels at the same time and go shotgun all over the map, right? So I want you to think about this. For those of you just getting started with live streaming, you're thinking, well, I don't have an audience, right? How many of you are thinking that? Like, you're like, well, I don't know if I don't really have an audience. It doesn't matter anymore, right? It's no longer about your audience. It's about your guests' audience, right? So it's all about being selective on who you invite to come onto your live stream. I'll give you an example, okay? So who are some people, right? If you were to do your own show, and I want you to think big, who would be that all-star guest, that dream guest that you would love to have on your show? Like, would it be Oprah? Would it be Tony Robbins? Would it be like, who would you want? Who would be like your dream guest, right? Think big. Would it be, Dr. Phil? Would it be Steve Harvey? Like, who would you want to come on to your show? Tell me in the chat. All right. And as you're doing that, now imagine that you connected, you're interviewing them on your show, but you connect now with Restream Pairs, and it gets blasted to their audience, right? They're millions and millions of followers, right? Think about that for a second. It no longer becomes about the size of your audience, and it becomes everything about the size of their audience. All right. So I got Hope says Michael Bublé, right? I see that. I see you. I see you. Let's see. We got Mark says Jay Shetty. Oh man, John Ballard, you're the bomb. He says Trevor. I appreciate you, man. I'll be your first guest. Chandra says Steve Harvey, right? So imagine that. Imagine now you're blasting it out to their network. How powerful is that, right? How cool would that be, right? So that's why this is a superpower, guys. I've had some really large guests on my show, and this has really been a game changer. It's been an absolute game changer for our show. So it will be a game changer for you as well if you understand how to use it. All right. So here's some tips for a great live stream. Okay. Some tips for a great live stream. Number 1, a run of show. Okay. Like on the Who You Know show, we have a format. Okay. It's not scripted. Okay. It is not scripted, but we do have a format. Okay. And we follow that format. Right. Like if you've ever watched our show before, what do we do in the beginning? In the very beginning, we give shout outs, right? We give shout outs to our audience. Then we do a prayer. We pray over our audience. Then what do we do? After the prayer, we celebrate landings. So recent job landings, like we celebrate them, right? Then what do? We do a tip of the week, right? So this is a formula. It's a run of show, right? We go to a commercial break. We bring a guest on. We do an interview. We go to another commercial break. We bring a guest on, do an interview. Like we have a formula. It's not scripted, but it's a formula. That's called run of show. And so you need to think about that when you're doing your live stream, right? So run of show. The other thing that you need is great guests. That's the key here, is your guests and your content. So if you're not going to have a guest, have great content like what I'm doing right now, the presentation, right? Have great content. Other things that are important: audio quality, your background, your lighting. Those are all important. Those are things that you probably, I'm just going to say this, you should have that already. You should. We live in a virtual world now, right? With all the Zoom meetings and everything, guys, I'm going to tell you this is not going away. You need to get yourself, and the virtual backgrounds, guys, no. You need to have a real solid place in your home, wherever it is. Like think about it. Like build your own environment. Like look at my background right now, right? I've got lighting behind me. I've got lighting in front. Look at that. I got lighting. I got a professional microphone right here. Okay. Like, and I didn't spend thousands of dollars for all this. I didn't spend thousands of dollars, but you need to think about that. And it's not going to go away. Okay. This is not going away. Like invest in yourself and get these things, guys, because it's not going away. All right. So all of these things are really important. The audio background, the lighting, engage with your audience, right? That's another tip. Like you need to engage. Like right now, I'm going to engage with Neil Anson. He says Dak. He wants Dak on the show. Yeah. Because it's all about them Cowboys over there. You see that? Ooh, I can't even point. There we go. Wait. I can't point. It's weird when you're in the camera pointing. Have you ever done that before? You ever been in a camera and you're trying to point, but it's going the opposite direction, so you got to do it like this? It's kind of weird. Anyway, but yeah, engage with your audience 100%. That's super important. All right, so those are some tips for a great live stream. Shout out to PeekABoo Live. PeekABoo Live. Matter of fact, really cool thing that we're going to be doing today is at the end, I'm going to get to see all of the engagement of this live stream. So PeekABoo Live is a service. It's a software that was invented by this guy, Daniel Hall. Okay. Daniel Hall put this thing together. It's an amazing software that gives you LinkedIn Live specific, LinkedIn Live analytics. Okay. And I'm talking detailed, guys, super detailed. It tells you all the comments, the mentions, the hashtags, date and time stamps, the attendee list. So I'm going to see all of your names at the end of this. I'm going to see every one of your names, and not only your name, but the LinkedIn URL will be right next to it. It'll come to me in an Excel spreadsheet, so I can literally just click and I can send you a message, and I will. I'm going to reach out to a lot of you and tell you how much I appreciate you being here, and how valuable is that? How awesome is that? Think about that, guys. You want to know who's looking at you, right? In your job search, when people are looking at you, you need to know who it is, right? And you need to have a strategy on how to reach out to them and get conversations started, right? That's what this is all about. So shout out to Daniel and PeekABoo Live. He's got an offer there for anybody that wants to get started. One free live stream analytics, and this offer ends on 12/17. So we got a little bit of time for anybody that wants to take advantage of that. If you do start live streaming, it is an amazing. This is game changer stuff right here. All right, so now we got all that out of the way. It's time to feature our guests. It's time to go ahead and click that button and let's go. So what we're going to do is we're going to search LinkedIn for people in your industry at your target companies who you want to work for. And it's time to have your interview. Okay. So you're going to interview them and you're going to do it live on your show. How cool is that? Changes it. Actually, you know what? Makes your job search fun. Guys, have a little bit of fun with this. Have some fun. Right. And after you do your interview, this is how we're going to create a content machine. What you're going to do is you're going to take that and you're going to chop it up. Okay. You're literally going to chop it up. You're going to repurpose the content. Okay. So first thing you want to do is during your interview, you want to gain insight, gain information about the company, the culture, all of those things. You will obviously have to ask permission to record. You're going to have to let them know that this is a show and they'll be okay with it. I promise they'll be fine with it. You're going to transcribe it into text. You're going to take that information, transcribe it into words, and I'll show you why that's important. And then you're going to repurpose that long form content into short micro content. Okay. So here's a piece of content I recommend that you guys all go take a look at. and it's by Gary V. How many of you know Gary V? Anybody here? Tell me down there in the chat if you've ever heard of this guy before. He is like the content king. Like if you don't know who he is, go look him up, and I promise you, you will never get away from him again. The first time you click on anything of his, like, you will never get away from this guy. He will follow you. You'll fall in love with him. He's an amazing guy. Gary Vaynerchuk has this piece of content: how to make 64 pieces of content in one day. Okay. This is all about repurposing, taking that long form, chopping it into little micro pieces. Okay. Yep. Content king, Gary V. I see you. I see you. Lena Stutz. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yep. Gary V's the man in the whole 50 grand. He is the content king for sure. Okay. So here's his content model. Okay. You take that long form content, the live interviews, YouTube videos, webinars, podcasts, anything that's long, and you chop it up basically. Okay. And you can make micro videos, images, memes, quotes, right? That's why it's important to transcribe it so that you get, the words, right? That's why we do on our show, we do something called the mic drop moments. How many of you have seen my newsletter? I have a newsletter called Mic Drop Moments. And on our show, whenever we drop that mic, it's when someone's saying something impactful, inspirational, motivational, something like that. But those pieces of content, I'm repurposing. I'm doing a newsletter with it. I'm doing all kinds of fun stuff with it. It's all about repurposing. Okay. So from a live stream show, right, we're able to do other things. We're able to chop it up, right? So that is his formula right there. That's his formula. Now, you may be thinking, how do I do that? I don't even know how to do that. Where do I get started? Again, you're going to take that long form. Like, here's an example of our show. It was an hour and 14 minutes long. You chop it up into the micro content. Here's an example of a little micro video, because in the news feed, it needs to be short. Nobody's going to sit there and watch an hour-long video in the news feed if they're discovering, right? They're scrolling in that news feed. They're not going to sit there and watch it for an hour unless it's a live stream like this one. You guys have been hanging with me this whole morning, so I appreciate you. If it's live stream, if they're in it, they'll hang with you, right? Otherwise, it's got to be short. It's got to be little bite-sized pieces for the news feed. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to everyone. If it's live, people will stay and they'll engage. If it's not live, it's got to be short, little itty bitty pieces. Okay. So a little micro content. So you're going to take that thing, you're going to chop it up. Video editing. Let's talk about that. Adobe Premiere Pro is what I would recommend if you are going to edit. Okay. If you're going to edit your own videos, if you're going to do video content, Adobe Premiere Pro. But I've got a question. How many of you know how to edit video? Like, and you're solid at it. Like, you're really, really good. If you're good at editing video, by all means, do your thing. If you enjoy it, do your thing. I'm not a video editor. I don't want to become a video editor. Talk about time consuming. Ugh. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't got time for that. You don't have time for that. Time is money. Okay. And your job search runway is only as long as your financial runway. So don't waste time, guys. Don't waste time. So I'm not showing you this because I want you to get in here and spend a ton of time editing videos. Matter of fact, I've got something better for you. And if you're chopping into little micro videos, I just tell you, you need to go hire a freelancer. Okay, hire a freelancer. And it will be way worth the investment. Okay, you can get a professionally edited video for around $8 to $12 per video, guys. And I'm talking about music, cut style where it flows fast, cut style, pop-ups, images, captions, the banners, all of the things that really make that that videos stand out, guys. If you ever go look at my content, go look at the videos. You'll see, you'll go, wow, this video is really, really nice. I didn't edit those. I hired a freelancer to edit those. And you can go on to one of those sites and hire one for $8 to $12 a video. So think about this. Invest in yourself, guys. Invest in yourself. It's super important that you're doing that. Invest in yourself. Okay. Now for images, okay, Canva, right? If you're going to do the carousels, the images, the banners, quotes, memes, all of these things, Canva, and Canva is not expensive at all. Even when you get the premium images and stuff like that, like it's super, super, super cheap. Like $1, you'll get something for a download for $1 or whatever. And it's actually something that I would actually say you could do this yourself. This with Canva, you could actually do yourself. How many of you use Canva? If you use Canva, let me know down in the chat, right? But great tool, phenomenal tool for repurposing quotes and things that you're saying. Like if you have an impactful quote, come on, guys, you need to get that out there on an image, post that thing. Let's go. All right. Okay. So Canva is a straight fire tool for repurposing. Now that you've done this repurposing, you need to start posting it. Get that info out there. You're creating a content machine, and you're going to highlight the person that you interviewed. Okay. So here's some advantages. You're adding value by giving a spotlight. You are spotlighting the person that you interviewed, right? You're positioning yourself as the expert, right? Because you're talking about what you do. All right. You're staying authentic because it's conversational. An interview is conversational, so it's not scripted, right? Don't be scripted. So it stays authentic and genuine. You stay top of mind, and I'm going to show you that in a second. You're going to stay top of mind. It's something that you can post all over. So you can take this from LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram, right? It's multi-purpose content. Okay. So multi-platform content. You can get it all over the place. In a 30-minute interview, you could get over 6 pieces of micro content. You actually get more than that. You get a ton of micro content, little pieces in a 30-minute interview. Now, the other benefit is that the interviewee, the person that you're interviewing, because you're highlighting them, they will share it and repost it, right? How valuable is that? Think about that for a second. If the person that you're interviewing reposts and shares it on their platform, that's super, super important and powerful, right? So it is something that you're going to see all of those advantages, guys, if you do this, okay? All right. So when should you post? I get this question a lot. When should I post? Well, the number one thing that you need to think about is, do you have enough time to respond to the engagement? I would have that golden sweet hour right after you post it, that you have to engage with the comments. All the comments that come in that first hour, you need to be able to respond to them, to go back and forth and have a conversation in the comments that will continue to get that thing to go further and further and further. Okay. It's what they call the golden hour, right? The other thing I would consider is that you can build a calendar around your most active times. So start tracking it. For me, it's between 9 and 10 a.m. That's kind of like my sweet spot when I get the most engagement. But the number one thing that is the most important is that you need to be consistent. Okay. Be consistent. Create consistent flow, because you'll start to build an audience that is there at that time. Like with our show, every Wednesday at 3 p.m., right? It's consistent. We've been doing it that way for years. So at 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, guess what? Like clockwork, people show up, right? Hey, but if I was all over the map and I was at 1 p.m. and Monday and this day and that day, do you think I would build an audience? No. So you need to be consistent with whatever you're posting at the same exact time. That's what I would recommend. So Even if that time is in this red zone, like, this 8 to 9 p.m., if it's consistent for you, do it. Make it an evening show, right? Whatever's consistent for you. All right. So, the other thing, when you have given the value, after you have spotlighted an interview, you've transcribed it into text, you've started to create your micro content. Now, guys, now is when you're wanting to apply for the job. Think about it. You've just planted a ton of seeds. You've added a ton of value. You've highlighted someone. You've made them the star. And now you apply. Now you apply and you say, hey, I loved what I learned about that company. I loved what I learned about Coca-Cola. It seems like a perfect fit. I actually made the decision to apply. Does your company offer a referral bonus if I get hired? Think about that. I'm excited. I love it. This is the opportunity I've been looking for. Thank you so much for giving me the insight in what it's like to work there at Coca-Cola. I decided to apply and I'm excited about it. Does your company offer a referral bonus? I want to make sure you get paid if I get hired. All right. Like, you got to ask for that referral, and that's a great way to do it. A lot of companies offer referral bonuses. Okay. So that's the language that you want to adopt and that you want to use. Okay. So again, you're going to ask for the referral after you've already built all that value and you're highlighting people. Ask for the referral bonus, permission to use them as a reference. Now you have someone inside the company who's a reference, right? And you're going to ask them to pass the resume along to the decision makers, right? They will do it. You've added value. Why will they do it? Because you've proven yourself and you're adding value and you're giving first. Okay. So if you're wondering why people aren't passing your resume along, what have you done for them? You know what I mean? Think about it. It's also a great way to have follow-up touch points. Okay. Because every time you create this content, you're highlighting them, right? So that's a follow-up. You can follow up over and over and over. You're featuring them. You're featuring them. You're featuring them. Apply. And those are great touch points. So you're just adding value the whole time. Every time that you put it out there, you get to reach out. Make sure that as you post that content, you follow, like, and tag the company pages, right? If I'm trying to go work for Coca-Cola, right, I'm tagging Coca-Cola on all of these posts, right? I'm tagging them. I'm mentioning them. What do you think is happening when I do that? Well, Coca-Cola, whoever runs that business page is seeing that, right? And they're going, oh, wow, what's going on here? Right? It just brings more visibility. So make sure you're tagging and you're highlighting, you're letting that company know, I want to work for you, right? Gets their attention. Now, here's the deal. I understand right now. I've shown you all of this. You may still have some fears. Some of you are like, I don't know if I could do that. How many of you, let's get honest, how many of you are like, all this sounds great, Trevor. It sounds amazing, but man, I don't know. I don't know. A little bit of fear getting up here, right? How many of you want to just be bold and just tell me it's okay? It's cool. I get it. I totally get it. My first live stream was terrified. I'm not even going to kid you. If you go watch the very first episode of the Who You Know show, I was like this. Right? I was so scared. Oh my goodness. It was bad. Okay. But it's okay. Because look, we're 4 years in now. We're about to have our fourth year, our fourth anniversary. And I'm excited. Great things are happening. Opportunities, doors are opening. Guys, this is game changer stuff. And it's not going to go away. You just need to do it. Okay. You just need to do it. And that's what I'm going to say. All right. Now, Lena says, hey, come on, be bold, talking to myself. Right? It's okay. Look, if you have a little bit of fear, that's okay. But remember what I told you. Fear is the enemy. Fear is the enemy. The fear is false evidence appearing real. Okay. And the enemy came here to lie, kill, and destroy, wants to hold you from your purpose. Right? Think about that. It, we can't be afraid. We got to bust past that. We got to get past the fear zone. Okay. So overcoming fears. Here's a couple of things. Number one, this is a skill. Do you realize this is a skill that companies want? Companies want employees who can do what I'm doing right now. Why? Because it brings visibility to their company. They want people who can do this. It's a valuable skill, super valuable. It's something you can add to your resume. So think about that. Number one, you're upping your skill level when you do this. Okay. Number two, get an accountability partner. Get somebody who can help you with this, right? Who can hold your hand, hold you accountable. Try to have fun with it. It's all good. Like, it's nothing. Just have fun. Have fun with it. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is, I don't care if you're scared or not. Just do it. Do it scared. I love that. Shout out to Fanny Dunnigan. She has that hashtag, do it scared. Hashtag do it scared. So shout out to Fanny. She's awesome. We love her. But just do it anyways. Do it anyways. Right. And so again, I want to talk about what we've covered today. So I'm going to recap. Okay. 5 steps to becoming referable and the go-to candidate in your industry. Number 1, apply for LinkedIn Live. Okay. Number 2, create your Restream account. Okay. So get your free trial. The link, Hope will put the link back in the chat. But go to that link. You'll get a 7-day free trial of their Restream Pro account. But then you can check to see if you have it, right? Connect your accounts. And then step 3 is start interviewing people, right? Do that Restream pairs where you can really, connect to their audiences and get it out there to the world. Tell the world how great you are. Stop hiding your greatness. Okay. Stop hiding your greatness and get it out there to the world. Do a presentation on how you solve a problem, just like I'm doing right now. Right. I'm doing it right now. Repurpose. Okay. So chop it up, create a content machine, start posting consistently, right? Get that stuff out there, engage and follow up. Okay. Engage and follow up. I want to give a shout out to Mike Mediterranean. I don't know if he's here with me right now or not, but Mike had a post last night, and I'm just going to throw this testimonial out there. He had a post last night. Okay. Because I've been teaching him. He's been following. He has been doing what I've asked him to do. It'll post last night, go viral. Okay. Goes viral. It's got like over 100,000 views in just the first day. All right. And it's going to continue. I know how these posts, I've had viral posts myself. They'll continue to go. He'll probably get at least 500,000 views. Right. His profile is blowing up. He's getting so many. He's getting the connection requests. He's getting DMs. He's getting all of these eyeballs are all over him right now. And the crazy part about it is it carried over. And let me explain what I mean by it carried over. He did this post. It's going viral. Well, the post was about job search, and he mentioned me in the post about how I've helped him. And so I'm tagged in it. And guess what happens? It not only blew up his page, it blew up my page, right? That's the power of what I'm telling you guys. The visibility, like that one post that he did, it's going viral right now. It blew up his page. It blew up my page. I've got people reaching out to me in DMs right now, reaching out saying, hey, I saw you on this post. I saw you because it's going viral right now. Okay. And I want that for you. I want visibility for you. I want eyeballs all over you. And then you need to be able to convert it into conversations. Okay. Convert it into conversations. And so that is where we go here. Okay. So I came up with this little phrase here, the 7 C's to cash flow. 7 C's to cash flow. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. All right. So I want y'all to put that down there in the chat right now. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. All right. It's the marketing funnel: awareness, interest, decision, action. Right. So I hope you guys like that. I literally came up with that. Okay. I literally created it. Okay. Consistent content creates conversations that convert into careers and cash flow. That's what we call alliteration. All right. All right. So congratulations. You've made it to the end. And as I told you in the very beginning, if you make it to the end, I'm going to give you a secret phrase so that you can get our LinkedIn optimization checklist and our financial ebook, which is managing the financial stress of job loss. Okay. So you've made it to the end. The secret phrase, all you got to do is DM me this phrase. Okay. Go nuts for donuts. Just DM me that phrase. Go nuts for donuts. Okay. And I will send you the LinkedIn optimization checklist so that you can optimize your profile. Because once we get the traction there, once we get all the visibility, once we get all those people there, it needs to be optimized so you can pull them in, you can reel them into conversations. Okay. All right. So LinkedIn optimization checklist. And then we also understand, hey, listen, when you're in a career transition, you're in a financial transition, right? There's so many things going on in your world financially. This free ebook will cover that and help you to manage the financial stress of job loss. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, we're also giving away our ice shaker, right? Our Who You Know ice shakers are thebomb.com. You're going to want one of these. Super cool. Shout out to Chris Gronkowski. How many of y'all know Chris Gronkowski? You know, I know a lot of people know the Gronkowskis, the Gronks. How many of y'all know him? This is his company, Ice Shaker. Okay. And this product is thebomb.com. You're going to want one of these. It was featured on Shark Tank. He actually got a deal from all of the sharks. All right. Ice Shaker. Let's see. I'm trying to zoom it in. Anyway, Ice Shaker. This is thebomb.com. You're going to want one of these. So what I'm going to do is I am going to look at these comments using PeekABoo Live, because Daniel Hall is going to get me that list and I'm going to be able to tally it up. So I'm going to know who my top engager is. So right now you've got an opportunity, just saying, you got an opportunity to get a few more in there, get a few more plugs. But whoever is my top engager is going to get one of them Who You Know ice shakers. I'm going to send that to you. So super excited about that. You're going to love it. And thank you and congratulations. I also want to plug our show. Make sure you join every Wednesday. I mentioned this earlier. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central, we do this show, the Who You Know Job Networking Show, where we help job seekers get back to their cash flow, motivation, education, inspiration, and we're going to help you as well. So make sure you join us. Matter of fact, real quick, if you have tuned in to the Who You Know show before, I just want you to put hashtag Who You Know down there in the chat right now. Let's go. Hashtag Who You Know in the chat, and I will give you a shout out. But congratulations in advance, guys. You are all going to land. Each and every one of you are going to land a job. Okay. I know it. We've seen it. You will. You're going to land. And when you do, I want you to celebrate with a donut. Okay. I want you to celebrate with a donut. That's why we have that phrase, go nuts for donuts, right? That's why I use that phrase. I want you to celebrate with a donut. The donut represents you becoming whole, getting back to your cash flow. And in the old days at the church, we would, when job seekers would land, they would come, they would bring the donuts and they would tell their story. And their story is encouraging, right, to others who are still looking. Okay. So congratulations in advance. Real quick, let me give some shout outs as we're here at the very end. Who do we got with us? Who do we got? I see Jack Bosma. I see Tanya Jackson. Hashtag Who You Know. Appreciate you. I see Hope Mangita, Lena Stutes, Craig Boussard, Mary, good to see you. How are you? Tanya Jackson, hello, hello. Love you guys. You're amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, send me that DM. Send me that DM that lets me know that you were watching. Okay. And we'll get you that LinkedIn optimization checklist and the Career Crossroads brochure, the ebook. All right. We'll get you all of that. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate you so much. Have a phenomenal, blessed day. Go crush it and go get LinkedIn Live and Restream. You guys need to do that. Okay. Have a blessed day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye. That's some good water right there. Bye. Go Cowboys.